And having that platform in the light just looks so good. It gives the athletes what they deserve, really, I think, being you know, literally in the spotlight rather than in a totally lit up room.
Pretty solid opener. He just gets right to it, walks up to the bar, sets up and goes. He was a little bit forward, had to step under that to get stabilized, but it was not hard.
And he has so many times recently had trouble in the snatching competition. So to see him come out and make his opening attempt is a great thing to see. Go get your kids in now from Georgia, taking his opening attempt. Placed 4th at the European Championships this year, snatched 137 kilos there. So this should be quite comfortable for him. Some of the heavier Georgian athletes went to maximum today in the training hall.
Oh
wow,
forward,
that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He was
what
never in doubt.
Save.
Cracks a big smile on that one.
Not many people could do that. I mean, he didn't just take one step, he took a couple. Call that a duck walk in weightlifting.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty rare to see, actually, especially in the men's classes. It's just not as common to see somebody walk out something like that.
That's the sort of thing that, you know, it's not just the best weightlifters in the world who can do it. It's a certain type of athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
I could never do that.
No.
I wasn't able to move a foot when I was ever in the snatch, but some people can just walk around down there.
Yeah, just a combination of strength, athleticism, mobility.
Okay, so here we have the 2022 European champion. When he won that Europeans, he snatched 139. Clean and jerked a very strong 175. 3 reds. Brilliant.
Very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These Bulgarians seem to be in good shape this year.
Yeah, we've seen them in the training hall lifting some very big weights. Doing some interesting stuff, too. I don't think we've ever really seen them go off blocks as much as we have here. But,
yeah, Andreev Bozidar, who competes in a few days in the 81s, or actually I don't think he competes until Monday, but he not only did he snatch 170 kilos off blocks yesterday, he then worked up in the clean, and he hit 195, and then he put on straps, and then he hit 205 in the block clean with straps on.
Wow.
I've never seen a strapped up block clean before.
Yeah,
certainly not in a training hall. I mean, that is so far removed from what he's going to be competing in. It was almost. I mean, he had all of the media around him. I wonder if there was a little bit of putting on a show there.
Yeah, he strikes me as someone who enjoys the attention. Wow.
Okay, so 132 kilos for Yakubov of Uzbekistan.
Beautiful lift, too.
Yeah, he's an athlete who's been back and forth between the 73s and the 67s over the last few years. He was at the Asian Championships as a 73, a full 73, weighing 72.82 kilos just 4 months ago. So he's actually cut down 6 kilos of body weight in the last few months. But I think he actually looks quite good.
Yeah, that was impressive.
He's moving quickly. He won the Asian Championships in Bahrain last year as a 73. Again, he snatched 140, clean jerked 182.
So you're seeing Govic-Kidze here.
He's ready.
He's ready, but his name hasn't been called.
He wants 134. So here comes the change.
Yeah, he had to duck walk that last one out. We'll see if he makes a correction here. Just be a little more patient in the pull. Yeah, a lot of the Georgian lifters tend to leave the bar forward. Maybe jump forward or push it forward.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, my word, the same thing. Oh,
round 2, but
that would have been amazing if he did it twice in a row.
Just that much harder with a little 4-kilo jump. Yeah, we'll see. Does he repeat that? He's going to have a 2-minute clock because there's no one else even at 134. No. Everyone's moved to 35.
He could do that. Yeah. You know, he could bump to 35. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 athletes with 135 written in. So it would give him a lot of time. Ferdi Hardal, Francisco Mosquera, Lee Sang-yon, and then the second attempts for Yakubov and Genchev all at 135.
Yeah, he's moved up.
It'd be interesting to see how He Yuezhi does from China. He's got the heaviest snatch joint with his teammate at 145 kilos. But in the past, his clean and jerk has been a little bit lower than other Chinese athletes, so he's never really been the A pick for any session.
Yeah.
He may well have been in an A session, but he's not sort of the chosen one. But we'll see. With another year of training under his belt and a real need for a new crop of elite Chinese lifters, we may find that he's seen some improvement these last 10 months since the last World Championships.
Yeah, I mean, we speak about these teams and the depth of talent they have. Obviously, China leading the pack there. Probably a Rolodex of lifters in every bodyweight category they could draw from. So Mosquera out now 135.
Well, interestingly, in the back room, he made 120, went up to 130. He then missed it forward, took it again, made it, dropped down to 120, made it again, back up to 130, made it, and here he is now at 135.
Finally at his working sets.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rocky, turbulent start in the warm-up room for the reigning world champion. That's very nice.
Didn't even phase him.
No.
Yep.
You know, I've often thought that his snatch is somewhat similar to Li Fabin in the fact that they're both so upright with their torso that there's almost this wobbliness that comes in the shoulders and the requirement for very, very developed delts and shoulders because he's not sort of leaning forward with his arms behind his head. He's just in a straight up line when he catches it.
Well, yeah, if you think about his torso being completely vertical under the bar, there's not a lot of mass on either side of the bar.
Right.
So that basically lever arm becomes a lot harder to control.
Here comes... He's got to be one of the leanest men in the sport, you'd have to say.
You know, in this session, though, he may be...
he may not be. He may be in the bottom half.
Yeah, I mean, it's a remarkable group of athletes.
Yeah. So when we last saw Lee Sang, he was competing at the Asian Champs in Jinju. He took the silver medal. He snatched 139 kilos, clean and jerked 175.
Yeah, he rushed through that one. You know, the first attempt was a little bit early. He was a little bit rushed in the second pull, but on this one, it looked like he didn't even really take any time to set up. Grabbed the bar, went for it, and just rushed. He didn't even get high enough, really.
Genchev now, looking to do what Lee Sang couldn't. Make this 135. His first attempt, he's a very fast athlete. Very powerful.
Yeah.
He's not somebody who pulls a bar very high, but he's so quick.
Yeah, he's just such a put-together lifter, too. You know, everything is pretty solid.
Yeah, technically, he's very good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, he swung that one.
He actually stayed up at the top after contact a little bit long there, it seemed.
A bit of hesitation. The bar was probably a little bit forward, too, when he made contact and launched it behind. A bit surprising, actually.
Yeah.
He's usually quite solid in the snatch. He does have a very good clean and jerk, but snatch is never a huge issue for him.
And Max, who's that coach that he's with, that young man? Oh, not the young man, the smaller man.
Oh, Ivanov.
There we go.
Yeah. You know, I didn't actually even see him. I just knew that's probably who it was. We've referenced him every time.
I barely saw him. I mean,
triple bodyweight clean and jerk.
Yeah. 4 times bodyweight front squat.
Yeah.
Okay, Yakubov, second attempt, 3 kilo jump. Playing this one very smart. Oh, that one was very close.
Very, very close.
Yeah, that was closer than Yakubov.
And it looked
Sorry, than Kenchev.
It looked strong. You know, he's made that cut down here. You'd expect a bit of weakness, but like every bit as strong as you'd expect.
Yeah, the Uzbeks have once again set a pretty big team here.
They've got a new coach as well.
Yeah.
Right, Saeed Ali Husseini. I wonder how much that's changed their strategy and their training program.
I spent some time today pulling up Saeed Ali Husseini highlights to show members of the team who'd gone into weightlifting a little bit late.
That's a good time.
They were stunned. I showed them a 208 snatch and a 251 clean and jerk.
You know, the thing about him was he looked good for so much more. So much more.
Yeah. So final attempt. He duck walked the opener, saved it, wasn't able to do the same on the second. Overdid it.
Yep, overcorrection there.
Yep, hops out the front. So we had a very strong start. Everybody made their openers, but nobody has yet made a second attempt.
Yeah, 135 has proven to be insurmountable here.
Yeah, Mosquera, the world champion, made it on his opener, but no one else seems to be able to get past it.
Oh, Lee Sang here is coming up.
So Heyoji is at 90 kilos in the back room. Chen Lijun still just at 70 kilos. They're not going to be out for probably a good 10 or so attempts.
His opening lift at 130 was pretty solid, looked comfortable, a little bit forward. Second one looked like a significantly different lift. Didn't seem to get the bar high enough. He rushed to the pole. See what he does here.
Oh, yeah, he had much higher hips there in the start than he normally does. That looked a little bit off right from the start.
You know, and you know, when you spend that much time away from the actual lifts themselves, you know, due to injury, it's gonna give you that negative feedback, right? You're not gonna have a feel for the lifts. You're not gonna have a lot of confidence with big weights.
Yeah. Gosh, look at those high hips. For someone with such strong quads, that was bizarre. But, you know, he did tell us that he's really going to focus on the clean and jerk for this competition because of that wrist injury that he has, which is aggravated a little bit more with that wider grip. So let's look for him to come back with some big numbers in the second part of this competition. Meanwhile, let's see if Genchev can make the correction needed. He missed his last attempt behind.
Oh, yeah, much better.
I didn't think he sort of
hung out at the top.
Hung out at the top, and I thought there's no way this guy is going to be able to get under that.
Yeah, that was an impressive save, really. That bar, you know, that lift looked like it shouldn't have been a make.
No, you shouldn't be able to do that. And finally, somebody joins Mosquera with 135. That speed is something else.
Yep.
Still have the 2 Turkish athletes, the 2 Chinese athletes, and the Armenian, the athlete from Turkmenistan, still to open up.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of attempts here and a lot of great lifters, a lot of European champions and people up in the upper echelons there in the continentals, and we're still only about halfway through.
Here's Dostin. Oh, I like that a lot.
Nice comeback.
Yeah. Gosh, he found an extra inch just in the hole there. A little bit more depth. That's brilliant.
Yeah, very, very good.
Of course, Dostin won the Asian Championships in 2022. He won the World Championships at his home competition, 2021. A fantastic World Championships that was 2 years ago. And he won it in this category. 144 he snatched there. 180 in the clean and jerk. He's a bit behind those numbers today. Here's the opening attempt for Ferdi Hardal of Turkey.
Yeah, slow pull, and he tried to get all that power right at the end.
It's very aggressive.
There, yeah.
This was a personal best for his open. I mean, he made 135 at the Europeans this year as a best.
Yeah.
But I have to imagine that the Turkish athletes are ramping up, considering that they're going to be home of the European Championships this year.
Very true, yeah. February.
Antalya, is that?
Antalya.
Antalya,
yeah.
There we go, thank you. Antalya. Who had the World Championships back in 2009?
You know, I don't know actually. 2009.
I'm actually just gonna. I feel like I need to work this
I feel like 2009 was Qatar.
That was 2005.
5 was Qatar. Yeah. 6 or 7 was Santo Domingo. Yeah, let's look this up.
So no, 2009 was in South Korea. 2010. Yeah, that's right. Ferdi Hardal looking to make that correction. He needs to be a little bit quicker in the pull. It looked to be quicker.
Yep. You know, the Turkish lifters have a distinct style. Yeah. It's not a super powerful pull. They don't necessarily accelerate the bar very quickly off the ground. They pull what most people would perceive as very slowly, but their speed under is just extraordinary. They often jump forward a bit, at least of the Turkish lifters we're watching now.
Yeah, there seems to be two distinct Turkish styles almost. There's the taller, skinnier Yusuf Genç, or help me out with the 77 max from 2008.
Oh,
the young
Taner Saouj.
Taner Sagir.
Yeah.
Saouj?
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
That's pronounced,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I was informed by a Turkish person that I was saying it wrong.
I thought you made a mistake there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was incredibly fast, yeah.
Well, they throw their shoulders so far behind the bar.
Yep.
You know, far more so than the Chinese lifters do.
Yeah.
But then you have the other athletes who, not so much. We'll see how Khan Karaman does. Opening attempt at 137.
Yeah, really take note of the way he pulls here. Wow, what a correction. Yeah.
You know, when you see an athlete retract their head like that, that means that the weight is going the wrong way. It's going forward. They're doing everything they can.
Yeah, but such a quick adjustment. That was really impressive.
Yeah. He almost lost it behind, but he pulled himself back behind the bar.
Yeah, just tremendous speed.
It goes back. He pulls his head back, regains his balance.
You know, I'm not sure exactly the model of training the Turkish use currently, but it definitely originated from the Bulgarian system, at least the beginning of the early 2000s.
This is a very important lift here for Ferdi Hardal.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that might have even clipped the back of his head there.
That was the closest of the three. It was the most on top of where it belonged, but he just couldn't hold it, couldn't lock it out. It was a big opener, though.
Yeah.
That was a really aggressive attempt.
Heavy, yeah.
That can happen.
And these, you know, there's also two Turkish 73s who we are watching today in the training hall. Yusuf Genç and Mohamed Özbek. Yusuf Genç snatched 147 kilos. Clean jerked 185, massive lifts. Mohamed Ozbek, I think he might have snatched 140, but he clean and jerked 190 kilos, which is just remarkable.
A massive training hall lift.
I think that's what he hit when he won the 22
European
champs.
Yeah, he was the last one out.
He might have even won with like a 181, and then he took the jump to 190 to seal the deal. I can't quite remember how it finished.
Yeah.
Here's the world champ. He's had to wait a long time, likely far longer than he expected with all these misses.
Yeah, and only a 3 kilo jump, first to second.
Well, with a lot of athletes missing lifts, if he could just play this smart, he could retain his title as world champion. Oh, that was right there.
Yep, it looks like he got a little bit far over the bar there and left it out in front.
He does get way over.
Yeah.
His left arm buckled. He pointed to the bar. I don't know if it's a bit of blood or a bit of chalk that he thinks needs to be swept, but he did point to it.
Yeah. It should be noted, these loaders are actually some of the best we've seen.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they work as a team. They're just organized, and you said you watched them
training,
basically drilling and training.
Drilling the technique of sounds like weightlifters. I mean, some of them are, but drilling how they were going to do this. They were put into teams, and the teams would race each other, and they were sort of marked on speed and professionalism to change plates. It was a lot of fun watching them do it. So, you know, it dawned on me that we've now been, well, I know you've not quite, but I've been here now for a week.
Yeah, wow.
You know, we arrived last Thursday, and it seems to just be getting better and better. Pretty much everyone is now here.
Yep.
You know, the heavier lifters from Uzbekistan haven't arrived. There are a couple of supers, David Leety, for example, Emily Campbell, who've not yet made the trip out, but most athletes are now here and putting in some good training.
Yep. Training hall is a fantastic setup. It's a little bit tight. There's about 70 platforms.
Right.
But a ton of lifters, and everyone's getting in, getting the training done.
So I think this is very important.
Yeah.
He's going to need this, otherwise he'll be too far behind in the snatch to make up what the Chinese are going to do.
That's a shame. He just didn't even go under.
Surprising.
Yeah, he may have pulled off the ground and just felt the position was wrong.
Yep.
You could tell right away.
Well, the two-time world champion goes 1 for 3 in the snatch.
He would have an enormous mountain to climb in the clean and jerk to retain the title.
He told us that the heaviest snatch he'd made all year was 137 kilos, so 2 attempts at 138.
Yeah.
You know, that's big stuff.
Here's a lifter we don't know a whole lot about. Bunyar Rashidov from Turkmenistan.
No, we don't know too much. I can tell you he placed 5th at the Asian Championships. He snatched 140. He's got a strong snatch, clean jerk a little bit below some of these other athletes at 162.
Yeah, a little bit taller, thinner athlete.
Yeah. He's also relatively young, so his progression is a bit quicker than the others.
Oh, nice lift.
Yeah, such long arms.
Yeah, he looks relieved.
Wow.
Very good opener.
I mean, that's
140.
huge, yeah. It's what he made at the Asian Champs and at the World Champs last year, 142 kilos. He placed 11th there. So he's not going to place 11th at this competition. You know, we really ought to take a quick look at the B session as well, because just like yesterday in the 61s for the men's, another huge performance in the B session from the one and only, the, I believe now 3-time Olympic medalist, never winner but always in the medals, Ekoyili Irawan. He is a 61 kilo athlete. He came in weighing a bit heavy because he intends to compete at the Asian Games in a few weeks and he didn't want to cut for this. He snatched 146 kilos, which is a number he purposefully chose because it's 1 kilo over the 61 kilo world record. And then he clean and jerked 175 kilos, which is 1 kilo more than his old world record, and it equals Lee Farbin's current world record.
Yeah.
He smashed the 61 kilo world record total. Of course, he weighed in heavy, so it's not a world record in that category, but it's definitely a note to Lee Farbin to not rest on his laurels because he will be returning to the 61s. And 321 kilos is a weight that these athletes now in this session are going to struggle, really struggle to beat.
Yeah, it goes to show how strong he really is. Con Karaman, 141.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks like he hurt his wrist there.
A lot of speed.
Yeah, he wanted no part of that lift. He pulled it, and he was already planning to jump out in front of that.
But the confidence to have gone under it, because it did not move very high. He had to pull under even quicker than he would have had to if he was going to make it to get away from it.
Yeah, very talented athlete, but the mind was just not in it.
So in the back room, Chen Lijun has snatched 130 kilos. He Weiji went for 140 kilos and actually missed it, so we'll see what happens with him. He's put in for a 145 kilo opening attempt. Still 3 athletes left to open: Chen Lijun, He Weiji, and Gor Sahakian from Armenia.
Yeah, Gor Sahakian is very talented, a young lifter from Armenia. He performed extremely well at the Europeans this year.
Took the gold.
Yeah, in his hometown.
145, 175 he did there, 320 total.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see him.
Not enough to beat the B session total, though, which is just unbelievable.
Yeah, see him make a run at something here.
I hope Echo is stuck around in the building so that he can go up and collect a medal, because even if he doesn't get it in the total, which I think he might do, he's going to walk away with at least a medal in one of the lifts, you'd have thought.
Yeah.
Looking around now, big team of Chinese athletes in the crowd. I'm looking to see if we can make out Echo and any Indonesians, but can't see them. We have Simon Motorosian here watching this man, Gor Sahakian, his teammate. This is just his 6th international competition. His first was the Junior World Championships in 2021. Two seconds.
Nope, a little bit short.
Yeah, very classic, that wide Armenian grip.
Yeah. You know, we're seeing a lot of misses in this session.
Yeah, we have done.
And I wonder how much of that is maybe the effect of everyone assuming the need to take really big attempts. Everyone's opening relatively heavy. I mean, Sahakian did a 145 snatch at Europeans just a few months ago. He's opening at 142 here. It looked a bit heavy. We see similar numbers across the board, really. A lot of heavy opening lifts. I have to imagine he's going to repeat that 142. There's really nowhere to go.
No. No, he really doesn't need to be going up anywhere.
No.
So he still has 2 lifts. Rashidov has 2. Karaman has 1, and then it's the 2 Chinese lifters who are going to exchange 6 attempts back and forth. Here he comes now, Gor Sahakian. Both Chinese lifters have now made 140 kilos in the back room. Chen's was very fast, very nice, comfortable looking.
Almost identical to the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just not getting the height on the bar he needs. He's hopping away from it at the top. Just leaves that bar slightly forward.
Also, just a correction I wanted to make from earlier. I mentioned that we had 2 two-time world champions. We do, but one of them has won it 4 times. So Chen Lijun has actually won 4 world championships. Wow. 2013, 15, 18, and 19, and he now looks to get number 5 this year, 2023.
That's extraordinary.
And
5-time world champion would be a significant achievement.
especially with an Olympic gold medal chucked in there. Seven world records he's hit, 2 Olympic records as well.
Wow, that's amazing he went under it the way he did after that second attempt. He basically just bailed on the second.
He's got some grit. Yeah. Real grit.
Unfortunately, he's only going to be credited with the 137 opener.
So some uncharacteristic missed timings in the back room, with Heyoji having built up to 140 kilos so long ago. He's back down at 120 now because he's having to wait quite a while.
Yeah, it's always a bit challenging when lifters miss. When you get a large pack of lifters missing, it can really change the timing of the warm-ups in the back.
Here he comes, the European champion. He's missed his first 2 attempts. He needs this if he wants to stay in the running for this World Championships. Just leaving it a bit out in front. That's the correction.
A save.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
The depth that he just hit to make that lift. Oh my word.
He may have been the only person in this building that thought he was going to make that.
Oh yeah.
Those first 2 just were not there.
No.
Impressive to come back and put himself on the board.
Yeah, there's no way his teammates behind us thought he was making that one either.
Yeah.
That is so impressive to be able to come back from 2 very heavy looking attempts with the make.
And then
second attempt now for Rashidov of Turkmenistan.
His 140 was pretty comfortable on his opener.
It's hard to explain how excited Max and I are to see his teammate Twitchev, Hoja Twitchev, compete in the Supers.
Hoja
later this week. I don't think he's in an A session, but we'll have to take the trip up here just to maybe commentate on it.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal guy.
He's a favorite. So this to move into the lead. It's unbelievable.
Another duck walk attempt.
He's such a slight athlete. There's not a lot to him.
Yeah.
But he just pulls that bar. He really locks his body in so tightly in that setup. There's no lost movement anywhere.
Really impressive that he was able to try to duck walk that out. It was just forward, but
he came onto his heels. Sort of my memory of it now, I can't remember if it was during the lift or the catch, but he rocks onto his heels at some point, and I saw his toes coming off the ground. Might have been just during the pull, actually, as he pulled that bar back into him.
Let's see if we get the replay here.
Yeah. Looks like it's not coming, unfortunately. So he'll have to follow himself, and then it really does become a battle of Team China. 2 athletes, Chen Lijun, the 4-time world champion.
He's moved up to 45.
Okay, well that's going to bring out Chen Lijun, Olympic champion, 4-time world champion, world record holder in the total 339 kilos. A spectacularly muscular athlete.
Yes.
With, over the years, he's developed some extremely strange positions in the catch. Basically lost a lot of his ankle mobility, so he catches with just the widest stance that we really see in the sport.
So strong.
That's no problem whatsoever. You know, if I was gonna, he might have let go above the shoulders.
Oh, yeah, possibly. I saw that as well, but
I don't think anyone's going to call him for it.
No.
We've said this before, that I think the only time we've ever seen that enforced is at the Olympic Games of Kate Vibert.
One time in the more than 20 years I've been involved in the sport did I see someone get called for dropping the bar too high.
He might have had his hands on it. It does let go early.
Yeah, that even includes when the rule was above the waist. he couldn't let go above the waist. I don't think
that might have been an issue for someone like Amon Chol, whose arms didn't even reach his waist.
Yeah. Here's his teammate.
He Yueji, the Asian champion, reigning Asian champion. He took bronze at the World Championships last year in the lighter 61 kilo category. Very heavy opener for him. The most we've seen, 147 kilos. So 145 is a big opener for him.
Wow.
That's
unexpected there.
I've never, ever seen that from a Chinese athlete.
That was, yeah, really unique. I don't think I have either.
No.
Doesn't mean that it hasn't happened.
The only thing I can think is in 2021, in what was the 2020 Asian Championships, because it was delayed a year, Kang Yue was injured on a second attempt and came back and made her third. She might have not gone under her second attempt because of the injury. I can't remember. But, that, I mean, a totally different situation when you're injured versus, you know, an opening lift like that.
Especially
That's
on
surprising.
an opener. An opening snatch to just pull.
I actually thought that the pull looked quite fast off the floor.
Yeah.
It was surprising.
Wow. That definitely leaves an opening. I think Rashidov here is probably pretty excited because he has potential to hit 45. He might be thinking, oh, yeah, he's...
So Chen Lijun instantly bumped up to 150. He didn't want to steal the clock of his teammate.
He brings chalk onto the platform. Maybe his hand was slipping. Haven't seen that very often.
We saw Lee Dayan do that at the World Championships last year, but it's very rare for an athlete to bring chalk up. He's got a full minute on the clock. He's really getting a lot of chalk on. Just helps add to the grip. The last thing you want is grip being the limiting factor after all of the strength training and technique work you do. Much better.
Wow.
Not quite.
He's forward. Really surprising.
Yeah. He's going to have to come back out and take that same weight. It doesn't look too heavy for him now that he's done that.
Well, the question now, the man in the back, Turkmenistan, when you have Rashidov here, Rashidov's going to take the 45. That's a really smart move for him. He's probably thinking he can maybe medal here in the snatch.
Oh, yeah.
Hoping if he's successful, it's obviously he's not in the driver's seat, but
even if he misses, he might medal if He Yueji can't make this third attempt.
Yeah,
he'll get the bronze.
We have to remember 146 from the B session is still there. So
so actually no, he wouldn't. Yep, that's a good point. Yeah, no athlete has yet surpassed Eko Irawan's B session total.
This would be a huge lift.
B session snatch.
For Rashidov.
Yeah, he does not pull this bar very fast, but he's so quick.
Possibly a medal in the snatch. Sets himself up well. Oh, so close. So close.
Yeah, right there. So 140 kilos is the weight that he's going to end with.
Yeah.
It won't be enough for a medal, but
no, Sahakian is ahead of him with 142.
It's also not going to be enough for well, two athletes in the B session, because we saw the 146, but we also saw a 140 from Mohamed Yassin, also of Indonesia, and because he hit the 140 before, well, of course, before Rashidov did it, because he did it in the previous session, he actually stays ahead of him in that position. He Yueji now will look to make this before we see two big attempts from Chen Lijun.
Yeah, this is a bit uncharacteristic here. Just a pull, then miss forward. All he needs to do is straighten this out. If he makes this 145, he's in a great position still.
No.
Wow.
No.
I don't think we've seen very many bomb outs from China.
Not since 2015.
I was just going to say, Liu Xiaojun, 2015.
Shi Ziyong, Tian Tao, they all couldn't make clean and jerks.
Yeah, that was a rough.
Did all three win the snatch and then?
Yeah, it might have been.
Then they just missed all of their clean and jerks. It was a terrible year for Chinese weightlifting.
Yeah, I don't think you could even orchestrate something like that 3 misses, 3 bomb outs from the same team.
So interesting. Chen Lijun has been blowing his nose in the back room, wiping his eyes, apparently complaining about headache, clearly feeling under the weather. He doesn't look very happy. And yet...
That 145 was not hard, though.
No. So here's the 150. This is 5 kilos under Huang Minhao's world record. Oh my word, he's
not
in great
hard.
shape.
Wow.
I mean,
he is letting go of that bar pretty high.
Yeah.
Dangerously high.
Dangerously high. You know, a stickler for the rules might give that a no lift.
Well, the question is now, what's he going to do? Just take a 55? I mean,
Did he take a 6 kilo jump for the world record?
Not in danger because he's so far ahead of everybody else.
I will say it's the nicest looking his snatches have been in a long, I'd say for several years actually at this point. His snatches have lagged a little bit.
153. Yeah, I think this is probably what they'll take.
His best snatch ever is 154 kilos, which was the world record in this category before his teammate beat him. 153, you know, that could be smart.
I mean, they may just be doing that to buy time. He still has a change. He could take 56.
I think he's going to go 56, Matt.
Yeah, I really don't see why he wouldn't at this point. He's in a comfortable lead. He doesn't have to worry about his teammate potentially knocking him off the podium.
He is the
4 kilos up,
longest
on second
running senior Chinese lifter currently. Yeah, the other athletes who were around in 2013 are retired now.
Yeah.
When we look at lifters who are the seniors now, the oldest ones there, we're looking at Tian Tao, we're looking at Shi Ziyong. They weren't around at the 2013 World Champs, I don't believe.
So does the 153 stay? We're down to about a minute now.
Oh, Tian Tao's first World Champs was 2013, but
yeah, I was
in classic Tian Tao fashion, he missed his lift, so he didn't put up a total.
Yeah,
and he wasn't at the level where anyone knew him. It wasn't until really 2015 where we saw him win any kind of international medal.
Yeah, he's coming out for it. He's in the tunnel.
Yeah, huge lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time he made this was 2020. At the Asian Champs, he made 153. He clean and jerked 180 there. 333 kilo total. He's put himself in a great position. Last year at the World Championships, he only made 158. Oh,
very solid.
Couldn't he have just gone for a world record? Couldn't we have seen it? I mean, come on. Chen Lijun made that look very comfortable.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's under the weather.
A surprise that he didn't take the 56.
But, you know, we thought the exact same thing, didn't we, in the women's 49s. Both Chinese athletes were just 1 kilo shy of the world record in the snatch.
Yes.
They all look capable of it.
True.
But neither of them went for it.
Well, at least in that case, there was competition.
There was competition.
Right?
You've got to
be a bit conservative. Make sure you don't, you don't miss a lift that's too big. I think that's an interesting